Hello, my friends. It's Andy coming to you live from Orange County, California, and the Andy Falco Show. We have an exciting show based on the comments I'm already seeing. We have my co-host Hedia Miramati. How are you, Hedia?
I am great, thank you.
Very good. And we have our guest Leandra Blades on with us, and she's had an exciting few days. I think she's talking to her husband right now, or one of her kids.
I'm telling him to put the dog outside.
The dog trainer. All right. So it appears that we've had an exciting few days in our country. We have somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 million Americans who voted for President Trump, who have a certain opinion about different aspects of the election and what's going on and who's been legally elected. That's for other people to discuss and figure out. We have people that are in positions of power and other things to make some of those decisions. But as an American voter, we still have the right in this country to travel, to go to places and support political representatives that we support, like our president, and that's still the freedom that we have in our country. Am I wrong, Hedia? We still have that freedom, right?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to believe. Absolutely. And he is the sitting president of the United States. Though it's a couple weeks to go, he is the sitting president. Yes.
And I don't mean to get any hate mail your way, but you worked under this president for a little while.
I did. And actually, I talked to a good friend of mine who's still in the White House right now. And, people are pretty upset about what happened and what it led to and the violence that it led to. But I don't think anybody could rationally question whether Leandra and anybody else had the right to peacefully assemble and hear the president speak. And that's one of our First Amendment freedoms. So I'm saddened to see some of the comments saying that she should resign because she went out to see the president. Of course, she's going to talk about that more, but I'm saddened that it's come to this. And people expected it too, that the witch hunt against conservatives would begin, and we're seeing that for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I have so many different places I want to go, and I want to have a Leandra. And I know Leandra's right here, and I don't want to necessarily be talking right in front of her. But I just have one more point. I said, this is just really, the most shocking thing is that for 6 months, I don't know how long, Democrats were allowed to riot and protest, burn down federal buildings, police stations, blind police officers with lasers, shoot Republicans in the head and kill them dead. All that allowed. And they said, if you dare use any kind of force against these protesters, you are racist. You're a jackbooted Nazi, and you can't do any of those things. And so they couldn't use less lethal. They couldn't use gas. They couldn't use a number of things. And now the other day, it was wrong. It was absolutely wrong to go into that Capitol building. There's no doubt in our mind. I'm so upset at those people that did that. They should not have done that. But they didn't wait 10 seconds before they started using less lethal and tear gas. And now we're suddenly communists. All Republicans are communists, according to Joe Biden. Leandra, and I know you're right here, and I'm so sorry that I could actually go on a longer rant, but I'm not going to. When you were making the decision to go to Washington, D.C., did you go there to riot and to destroy the Capitol building?
Well, no. And when I was there, I didn't riot and I didn't destroy the Capitol. It was literally a girls' trip. So honestly, in December, as you remember, I think it was around maybe December 12th, December 9th, somewhere in there. These girls that I went with, they actually wanted to go back in December because, New York City is not really a place to go right now to see all the lights and the Christmas stuff. But as you guys recall, I think I was sworn into the board December 14th or 15th. So it was just kind of too close. A lot of things were going on. So we were going to go back there to see Trump speak and to have the rally that was in December and to kind of enjoy the whole Christmas atmosphere. But it just didn't work out really with any of our schedules. And so we said, hey, if he does one more, we're going to go do it. So lo and behold, there it was. So we said, hey, we're there. We're going to do it. So we went out there, flew in Monday morning, had a full day of sightseeing Monday, Tuesday, and then on, Wednesday was the rally, and that was kind of the plan. And too, I haven't had a girls' trip in years. I can't remember the last time I had a girls' trip. So to go with these two other girls, I mean, it was seriously like having a slumber party. Except, like later on in life when, they'd have a glass of wine and sit down with the girls. I mean, it was such a phenomenal time for us, especially the first 2 days, walking around at night and seeing everything lit up, the White House, the Washington Monument, I mean, the Capitol, everything is just so beautiful. And I'd been there a couple of years ago with my husband and kids. We went in the summertime, it was really hot. So going this time, it was just, really cold. But, so I'd been before, but my two girlfriends had never been. So it was just a really good experience just to see, they kind of had the same appreciation for it that I did. But
nice.
Yes, absolutely. I've never hid the fact. But we went on a girls' trip. Yes, it was a girls' trip. But yes, we were there specifically to go see President Trump speak on Wednesday.
Right. And I saw some of the pictures you took. As a matter of fact, Hedia, I showed some, Hedia, because you and I are friends. So I want to make sure that that's clear. I don't want to hide anything or pretend that I met you for the first time. But you did send me some pictures. You sent me some pictures, and Hedia and I looked at each other. I go, we thought she was there for the rally, and you're sightseeing. And Hedia actually made that comment. She's sightseeing, and she's there for the rally. So very clearly, you were there for other reasons, and again, support the president. There's nothing wrong with it.
Right. Yeah, we were definitely there. So, we really had a great time. And everywhere we went, we were meeting people. Like we met two other girls from Orange. I mean, I guess women now, or since we're in our 40s, but we met two other women, great people. We met some veterans. I mean, we met so many people in our hotel who were also from Orange County. So you just go there, you just meet so many people, and we just made so many friends on this trip. It was just like really an amazing experience. What we experienced, you walk away with things, like you walk away with friendships. And I didn't expect that. I thought it was just me and the girls, but we walked away from this trip with so many friends, so many new experiences. I mean, it was just really a great time for us.
Cool. I got to say, I don't know who Misconduct is, but why is Andy Falco forming a fascist? Can you translate? I don't know what that is. I don't know. Obviously, they're people that need a better public school to go to than I don't know. And so you are a recently elected school board member, correct, in Orange County?
Right. Yes.
And so
this is, and too, and I'll just say this as well, since some of this, a lot of people are having an issue with me going to Washington to go to this Trump rally. I campaigned before my campaign, or as I started my campaign, I interviewed with the OC Republican Party. I was endorsed by the OC Republican Party, and nobody has ever had a question in their mind if I was a conservative Republican or that if I was a supporter of our president. I've never hid that on my palm cards, when I walk, things that we sent out, whatnot. It all said that, it had my OC GOP endorsement on it. So for people to act appalled that I went to Washington, D.C. to support our, to listen to our president, it could be the last time there was ever a Trump rally. I have so many friends who've gone to these rallies. They go, oh my gosh, it's so fun. It's an amazing experience. I wanted to experience it. And I don't believe that there's anything wrong with that. I realize I'm in a nonpartisan position and I can absolutely fulfill my duty in a nonpartisan role. But it doesn't mean because I'm in a nonpartisan position that I need to turn my back on my views and my beliefs and, the people who have supported me. I'm just not the person to do that. I'm not going to hide my beliefs, to appease people. This is who I am, and I can still work with people, do my job, and do what's best for the kids in Yorba Linda and Placentia.
Right.
Absolutely.
Hedia, do you have anything?
Well, I'm thinking, just based on some of these comments, that what do you think it's going to look like when you return back to work and when you return back to the board? How do you plan to respond?
I believe, as an American, as a believer in our Constitution, I think that everybody has the same right. What's happening right now with the PYL-USD against terrorism or terrorists, That's just straight, it's almost slander, because what they're publishing statements that are not mine. They're stating I've done things that I did not do. So I don't have a lot of respect for those people because they're not publishing facts. They're publishing a lot of things that have happened in the past that are just not facts. And so, yeah, I've had some attorneys, contact me, and they've said that it's slander. And so, you have to kind of decide where we want to go from there with that. But I think if these students who are this appalled at my behavior, they have their right to go into the board meeting and take their 2 or 3 minutes to say what they feel. It's their right as Americans. And if they want to express their displeasure at what I've, done by going to a rally and listening to the president speak, then that's their right as Americans. And I respect that. What I don't respect is the lies and the slander and the things that they've been doing.
Right.
So
I guess somewhere I missed a question by Ms. Conduct, whoever that is. There's too afraid to put their name on there. But why do Andy Falco and Leandra Blades support domestic terrorism? Which is, again, I just have to repeat myself. We've been dealing with the domestic terrorism for the last several months. Over the last year, the Democrats said that we could not stop people from rioting and burning down buildings. You had people taking over portions of Portland and Washington. Whole cities and burning down police departments. And how dare you decide that you want to arrest anybody? And then you have Kamala Harris, who's bailing those terrorists out. I didn't support it then, and I don't support the guys that went into the Capitol building. Wherever you get this idea that Andy Falco and Leandra Blades are supporting domestic terrorism, you've got it obviously wrong. Apparently, you've supported it for several months because you never reached out to me to get interviewed to speak out against any domestic terrorism from BLM and Antifa, but yet you're claiming something that we've never claimed. I never said I supported anything that happened at the Capitol building as far as breaking the windows, attacking police officers. Of course not. Leandra and I are both police officers, and Hedia worked for the FBI. So the three of us clearly are not for attacking law enforcement and attacking police officers. Those are a group of people that really got out of hand. So how do you want to address that, Leandra?
Well, I mean, I was a terrorist liaison officer when I worked for the sheriff's department. So I think to say that I support domestic terrorism is just, that's just a misstatement. How can you say that, especially with somebody who fought terrorism and who schooled themselves on terrorism and went to classes and training on fighting domestic and international terrorism? So I just don't understand that statement. But as far as domestic terrorism, I think, as I said before, the Trump rally at the Ellipse, it was extremely, peaceful, positive. It was a normal rally, just very calm, whatnot. And at the end, and I think too, what people don't understand is that at the end of the rally, we were told, because we were kind of standing near somebody who had a media pass, and he said that his security team was down at the Capitol had been breached, is what they told us. And we were like, well, what do you mean breached? How is our United States Capitol breached? So we weren't sure if it was just rumor, people were just joking. We didn't really know what was going on. But it did take us it took us a long time to do the walk down to the Capitol. And when we got there was people waving flags, they were on the stairs, whatnot. There really wasn't any police officers to be seen. So we thought, well, maybe what they meant was there was people on the stairs of the Capitol, people on the scaffolding, whatnot. It was actually a little while into the event. You're standing there. There was a lot of singing. There was food vendor. I mean, the whole site of Tito Ortiz, if anyone wants to look up Tito Ortiz, I think on Parler, if you could still get on, or on his Facebook page, he posted a video of what was happening actually in front of the Capitol. And it showed all the vendors, the food trucks. It showed everybody standing outside singing, waving flags, chanting USA or whatnot. That was the whole feel of it. It wasn't actually until my husband texted me and said, hey, where are you guys? Are you at the Capitol? They're reporting someone's been shot, that we actually even knew that people had gone into the Capitol. And then people kind of started getting the same text messages that people were inside the Capitol doing stuff. And that's actually when that stuff started to get reported to us, that's when people actually started to leave and said, okay, this has gone a little bit too far, because we honestly, from the outside, people on the outside, none of us knew what was happening on the inside. And so we kind of believe now, looking back, that when the media person told us that the Capitol had been breached, we think that maybe they were inside this whole time, and that's why we just didn't know, because there was really no police telling anybody to stand back. I mean, it was very very surreal that if you had this huge crowd, but to have no police out front, it was just kind of like, well, what's going on here? You know, it was just very strange. It was very weird. There was like, sometimes you get a little, like, you know, you'd hear something, like maybe like a big boom, and sometimes you get like, people are like, oh, they're spraying tear gas, but where were they spraying the tear gas? Because you just never saw any police. So,
right.
You know, we were just standing way outside the Capitol, you know, minding our own business, just kind of taking it all in. And then once those reports started coming in, we said, you know what, this is not us. So we left. We've been up since 5 a.m. So we went, we ate. It was cold. It was 37 degrees and the wind was blowing.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing. I actually brought this up to Hedia. We were kind of watching what was going on over there, and one of my comments to her was, when I saw the Capitol, but I saw like 3 cops, like the first time they showed it, and I go, what's going on? Why? And that was all the way from California. And that is not, again, okay, because these people are crazy. I don't even know how to respond to half these comments they're making in questions.
I'm so distracted by them.
They gotta be 10 years old. It doesn't make any sense, half of these questions. But in comments. But
am I glad that I can't see these comments?
Well, probably. Oh, and just so you know, I'm going to address 2 things really quick. First, there's somebody saying, you know, how come you're not answering any of these questions? We're broadcasting on 5 different Facebook pages: YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. There's hundreds of comments coming. I cannot see. They're rolling by so fast. I can't catch them all. But both Hedia and I, and now I learned that you, Leandra, we've been involved in security assessment for a year. I owned a security company. That's what Hedia did for the FBI in regard to terrorism for years. And the first thing that hit me was, where's all the security? Like, how did you not have any idea, or just to say, you know, to be safe, let's put barriers up in front of the Capitol building, because Congress was in session. They knew they were in session. We knew that there were going to be millions of people at there supporting the president. They knew all this. I've heard even people like Dan Bongino and other FBI experts that were trying to go, where the police chief of the Capitol, he retired today. Why did he retire? Why? Because he made bad decisions. He didn't make sure and take care of things. Again, I'm not saying that's an excuse for going into the building, but you know, we know, the 3 of us know, there's always a percentage, a 1% of every group. 1% of every group has those 1% are crazy. It doesn't matter who they are. They're just nuts. Go ahead.
There were more police in Huntington Beach than at the Capitol. Manning the Huntington Beach rally. So it's a little strange.
Yeah, and that's what I did notice. I sat there and I said, where, you know, it's like looking around and seeing where are all the police, you know, because there are people on the scaffolding, people on the stairs, there's people, you know, kind of up, you know, to the sides of the Capitol. They're standing there kind of waving their flags or whatnot, and I just didn't see any police. And we had visited the Capitol the day before. We had done, the Tuesday was, you know, kind of a walk around by the White House, whatnot. And we did Supreme Court, we did the Capitol, some other, you know, the FBI building, DOJ. We did a lot of that stuff. And there was more police out there at that time than there was for this. And so that seemed, you know, a little bit strange, but I try not to, you know, I mean, you know how it is, former police officers, whatnot. You try not to critique other people because you don't know the reasoning. You kind of like sit back and you wait. Yeah, so it was just strange. But I would say that the police officers in Washington, like on Mondays and Tuesdays, they were on every single corner. You know, you couldn't walk a block without a police officer on that corner. And so we, like when we arrived on Monday, we were just kind of in shock. There's police everywhere. And we said, wow, these guys are really ready. These guys are on it, you know, for this. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't see because we were still way at the rally. So I didn't see anybody go in there. I don't know who was in there. You know, all I've seen is pictures. I did have one guy ask me to hold a fire extinguisher, so he tried to get up the wall. And I said, no, sorry, not going to do it. I said, that's not who we are. We're peaceful. You know, you're no better. We're not here to destroy things. You know, we're just here to, you know, to rally and be supportive. And he says, well, I'm here to tear shit down, is what he said. So, you know, so there were those people in that crowd. And so once that stuff started going on, me and the girls, we said, okay, so I think it's time for lunch. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Well, like I said, every crowd, 1% of them are morons, and that's when you have hundreds of thousands of people there, you're going to have a good percentage. I mean, that's about the percentage, right? It's like, I don't know how many people, 100 maybe went into the Capitol, but I'm not sure how many. But that is the percentage you always have to prepare for ahead of time. I know, and I'm just going to say this because I need to say this, that Leandra, if the three of us happened to find ourselves near that Capitol building and we had the opportunity, we would have gone on the other side of the barrier to keep those people from coming in. There's no doubt in my mind. So the comments are just ludicrous that you somehow had participated in terrorism, that you were there to cause problems, that was your motive for going there. That if we would have been given the opportunity, we would have flashed our. I carry my badge around with me, and you know, I'd stay armed. I surely would have gone the other. You know, I said, listen, I would have gone against the people that were going in there, not because for any other reason. They were wrong. They were simply wrong for doing what they were doing, regardless of who they were. Am I wrong in saying that we would have joined arms? Hedia, what do you think? Would you have joined me? Hedia and I said for sure we've done that.
Yeah, I mean, not only would have joined arms and helped, but I mean, you know, you're always kind of scanning, still you're kind of looking around, and I guess that was the thing where I thought, you know, it was just there was just no police presence, and so people who were up on the scaffolding and the sides and whatnot, and you know, kind of everywhere around the Capitol, it just didn't see. It just was. There was just nobody there. There was no enforcement. And like I said, we didn't even know until people were texting us that there was anybody inside the Capitol. And so that was also a bizarre thing because nobody knew. And then I think that's too what dispersed the crowd so quickly was that when the reports started coming in, because our cell phones were really jammed that day. Like when we arrived at the Ellipse at, I want to say like maybe 6:45. And I remember trying to take a picture of the crowd around 7:30 because it was a huge crowd already. I was trying to take a picture to send it home to people who were, and it wouldn't go through. None of my text messages, phone calls, nothing would go through. When we walked down to the Capitol, the reception got slightly better for a little bit, but you know, it was hit or miss. And like I said, we had no clue there was anybody even inside the Capitol until my husband texted me, my mother-in-law texted me, my cousin texted me, and they were all kind of reporting the same stuff. Somebody said, hey, somebody's in Nancy Pelosi's office. And then someone said, you know, someone's been shot. But, you know, you didn't hear anything. Like, we weren't hearing gunshots. Like, that was just, you know. And so that's when we just said, okay, we're out of here. This is no longer just, you know, us on the, you know, just us in front of the Capitol singing songs and people waving flags and, you know, just good conversation with other, you know, just with people around you. We're, you know, obviously inside the Capitol, it's a different story. So it's time to go.
Jenna says here that her daughter was there and said 3 people dressed in black, casual office type attire came up to her and told her she go in a she can go in a side door that was open, and thank God had enough sense not to do it. So there's just I mean, you had these people trying to encourage people to become violent also. So you only have the people that are being violent, that they're inciting violence, encouraging other people to do it too. But thank God like her daughter decided not to do that. Hetty, is there something going on in your mind that you just have a thought about what's going on, or want to ask?
I'm disgusted with how people are interpreting her presence there, just based on the comments, and that I think it's a sad day in American history when people exercising their constitutional rights leads others to say that you're a terrorist or you're a fascist or I don't know why they're calling you an Islamophobe, but there's obviously something I'm missing. But I mean, just the most random comments, and I'm sad. I'm sad that our country has gotten to this point where there's so much acrimony and hatred towards people that don't share our beliefs that it resorts to this kind of name calling. So
Yes.
that's why I'm just,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry you're facing this. And I presume it may get a little bit tough back home, but you've got some great supporters. We are seeing a bunch of comments from people saying that they support you and they stand by you. And of course we stand by you. And I hope that everybody else at the school board appreciates that you were exercising. I mean, it was history in the making, in the sense that it's the last time Trump will be speaking as a president. So it's just,
right.
Regardless of what happens afterwards, there's a very, very legitimate, rational, historical reason why you would be present. So I'm sorry to come to this.
Do you have any, Leandra? Go ahead.
Go on.
No, I was going to ask you a question. Do you have any independent knowledge of whether Antifa was there or a BLM? I mean, that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do.
Because that question come up a couple of times, and they say, do you believe in the FBI's assessment that there was no involvement of Antifa, as earlier claimed?
So we heard we have heard different things from there, because when we checked into our hotel room on Monday, we were said, "Hey girls, what are you guys here for?" We said, "Oh, we're sightseeing. We're going to Trump rally on Wednesday." And he says, "Oh, be careful, Antifa's here." So okay, and we knew, because people had said that Antifa was going to dress up and try to blend into the crowd, whatnot. So you just, you're kind of on your toes, whatnot. And then our Uber driver, same thing. "Hey girls, just be careful. I've given rides to Antifa today." And, and then one of our Uber drivers, he said, "I was lectured by Antifa today because I didn't, believe in what they were preaching to me." And so, yeah. So do I believe they're there? Did I see them enter the Capitol? No. Nope. I sure didn't. So I'm not going to say what I didn't see, because like I said, I didn't see anybody go inside the Capitol. So I'm not going to say that they were there. But as we were leaving, as me and the girls were leaving to go grab lunch, there was Antifa proudly marching down the street towards the Capitol, shouting at all of us that they were Antifa. And there was Black Lives Matter was there. They proudly stated they were Black Lives Matter. So, I mean, these groups were there, and they were proudly stating that they were there. So I don't see how we can say that they weren't there. Can I say that they were in the Capitol? No, because I didn't see. And I'm not going to from what I've seen on the reports and the pictures, and just, going, okay, well, yes, this is Antifa because he's claimed Antifa before, and then here's pictures. Do I believe Antifa was in there? Yes. But, it's just kind of one of those things where, yeah, I believe they were there. Our Uber drivers, we were warned by hotels, we were warned by police that they were there, that they were present. And so I guess, based on the information that we've all had at the Capitol and what we were told to look out for, everyone pretty much believed Antifa and Black Lives Matter was there.
Right. And I'm guessing people are saying that, former law enforcement officers that are on duty that are telling you that Antifa is there is not good enough. Apparently the FBI has to be the final decision makers on who weren't there, right? They were probably in their office in their suits. Sorry, Hedy, I know that you have friends that are in the FBI. But I've worked with the FBI, and oh my God.
We say the same thing about cops, so.
Yeah.
That's true. You guys do. There's a healthy,
they do.
a healthy relationship there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have other police officers that are on right now that are saying that they were there also, and they're echoing what you said, as far as what they heard and what they knew and what they saw. But again, that doesn't mean that we're saying that it's okay to breach the Capitol building. I don't know where this all kind of gets so confusing for simple minds. Simple minds have trouble understanding that none of us are okay with the Capitol building. There is no domestic terrorism. There are people that were angry and just looking for a reason to go sit in Nancy Pelosi's chair. We just have some idiots in our world. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I've also laughed.
Go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, like when we took the kids, we had contacted Ed Royce's office, and a couple of years ago, and we, set up a tour. It was, me, my husband, and my kids. we went through the Capitol. We did this whole tour. It's a wonderful tour, and it is so there's so much history and there's so much beauty in that Capitol, you know. And it's just a shame that people would break the windows and that they would go in there and break this stuff. I mean, not only that, it's against the law to enter the Capitol, but you know, why would you? I mean, this is part of our American history. You have to have a certain respect for America and our history, and that was just completely disrespectful. And I have no respect for anybody who did that. And it's just for anybody to say that I would incite that. Anybody that knows of my love for our country, for our history, you know, and even our government, you know, even government, even as screwed up sometimes as we think our government is, it's, you know, I love America. And, you know, and just visiting the Capitol that day, there's just so much beauty and history in there that it was just a shame really to see what they were doing inside. It's just so much disrespect. It really is.
Right. Yeah, it's just disrespectful to burn down the church there across from the White House. It's disrespectful burning or tearing down the statues of history, regardless of who they represent. Pulling down, they just recently pulled down Abraham Lincoln's statue because somehow he's now racist. We live in a very bizarre time. So, Leandra, I just want you to know that you have a whole bunch of people that support you, and they are mixed in with the 7 people that don't like you. Go ahead, Eddie. What were you going to say? I'm sorry. Eddie was
I can't see the comments, so it's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, one of the funniest that I've caught in this stream is, this is an echo chamber. And I was like, yes, this is the Andy Falco show. And these are Andy's guests. So yes, it is a bit of an echo chamber. We do bring on like-minded individuals. Maybe one day Andy will bring on unlike-minded individuals. But yeah, at this point, this is what the show's about. So sorry.
Yeah, I just got told that I look sweaty. You racist bigot.
The Mexican.
Racist. Sweaty.
I don't look sweaty. I'm not sweaty. You jerk. What a dummy. Oh my gosh. What else? I want to find some other ones. We're allowed to be disrespectful of our racist government. All right. Sounds good. Oh, here you go. There's one. Oh, no. Mexican is not a race.
but you call them racist.
Mexican myself. So what? Where did that come from?
I don't know. I'm a racist. I've gotten this. Yeah. Let's see what else is here. Guess there's some good stuff here. Do you want to see some of these comments? Because they're really neat. Yeah, let's see. Do you have respect for our actual history or just whitewashed history? That's somebody that's really upset with their white privilege. They hate themselves. They hate the fact they're Americans and they're white, apparently.
I'm not sure what whitewashed history is.
I don't know
what our country is. You know what? I'll just tell you this. I've kind of traveled all over the world, and I appreciate all kinds of history. My husband was a European history major, so we've done a lot of traveling. And you know, I love American history. He loves American history. Loves European history. We kind of love all the history. There's just a lot of respect for all history. You know, like we appreciate the whole history of our country and all that encompasses. And our history is, our country is a melting pot, and that our history encompasses all races. You know, so I'm not quite sure when people say, whitewashed history. As far as I'm concerned, I've been taught history of everything, no matter what your race, religion, whatnot. I think I've been taught all of it, and I'm respectful of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, wait, I'm gonna come over and train your dog.
Oh my gosh, they are like going crazy right now because they're sitting here and they're like, "Why are you not letting me in the house? Can you guys shut the shutters?
Yes. Don't come on.
I'm gonna shut the shutters so they can't see me."
That's okay. That's okay. The dog wants to chime in. He's like, "Listen, I know this woman. She's fantastic." Yeah, I mean,
my dog is a black Labrador, so he's probably saying my mom is not racist.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, we live in the least racist country on the planet. It's just so shameful that so many people hate our country and call us racist and call police racist and jackbooted Nazis and that kind of stuff. I work with guys at the police department of all races. We all got along just fine. We all support each other. We all probably at some point saved somebody else's life who was of another race. We are of a country that we support almost every country, if not every country on the planet in some form or another. We're the first to respond to a disaster in whatever country you're from. It doesn't matter. So when I see people talking about how racist we are as former law enforcement officers, or as you are, it is the most ridiculous thing. That's why I laugh, because it's so ridiculous. I know probably I shouldn't laugh, because these people are hurting and maybe I don't know what's wrong. I don't know how they've been taught or how they've been raised. But we surely are definitely the least racist country on the planet. And of the three of us, and for sure you too, and Leandra, I know this for sure, you are a great addition to the Placentia Yorba Linda School District. And I am so thankful for you there. And I know it's a handful of people that are speaking things against you. But the majority of our city and county support you and always will.
Yes.
And if there's anything that we can do to help you along this way, because unfortunately the few are very loud and obnoxious and will make your life a little bit difficult. But if there's anything we can do to help you, just let me know.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thank you.
Hedy, do you have any closing thoughts on any of the stuff we just talked about?
No, it's all a little disturbing, as the past couple days have been, but we'll stay strong. We'll stand behind Leandra and hope for good things here in our county. And I mean, I'm enthusiastic that the sleeping majority is awake now, and that we're going to fight for our rights, and we're going to vote, and we're going to make sure that we turn this around by 2024.
Yeah,
absolutely. Man, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to click on the comments, but they go by so quick. I can't catch them before they go by. They go by so fast. But we, again, there's a lot of people that support you and love you. I just want you to know that, mixed in with the people that are just kind of spouting weird stuff. I have no idea what they're even talking about half the time. And I'm sorry, did I cut you off from saying something?
Oh, no. I just, I want to thank you guys for asking me to come on, because, we were able to tell, our side of the story, because I mean, to come out and just the preposterous stuff that was said by this woman on Twitter. I'm in minivan hell. This is the second time that she's attacked me with false information, saying that I'm inciting riots or whatever the heck she was saying. I kind of scroll on past things. But obviously this one really blew up. But, to sit there and to accuse somebody of something that they didn't do, if you don't appreciate what I believe in, or if you don't agree with what I believe in, that's fine. This is why we live in America. I may not agree with what your side of it is, but you know what? If you want to attend some rally or whatnot, and it's just what you're doing and what your personal belief is, then perfect. Go ahead and go do it. And if I want to do the same, then I have that certain right. I just wonder where the respect for other people's beliefs and opinions have gone to. And I think that that's very disturbing. And I think too, to be demonized and to be saying that you incite riots and you're there as an insurrectionist and a terrorist and whatnot, because you're watching the president of the United States and people who are in his cabinet and people who support him are speaking at a rally, and then you walk down to the Capitol building and you stand in front of the Capitol, and you stand there and watch people, raise flags and, sing the national anthem and Amazing Grace and whatnot. I don't really see how that's terrorist activity. And
no.
And then, to also say too, that you can't hold a nonpartisan position because of conservative beliefs. As I said before, I just want to reiterate, I have always worked together with people. I think as a police officer, you have to work with people who you necessarily aren't going to agree with all the time, and you're being put in situations, where it's not the perfect situation, but you learn to work with it. And I can work with anybody. And I'm not going to bring, like I said, I'm not going to bring my political beliefs in the school district, because I don't believe that politics should be in school. I think that people should be there to teach the subjects, just as I said before on the campaign. and leave politics out of the classroom. We should be teaching our morals and our values and our beliefs at home. And I just feel like to demonize me for going to a Trump rally or to going, and going to support our president and going out with my girlfriends to say, oh, you were, this wasn't a girls' trip. This wasn't, well, I don't know what to call it then, but a girls' trip, because I was there with some of my best friends. So to me, that was a girls' trip. So if everybody wants to say this was the rally trip, then let's call it a rally trip. But you know what? This is who I am. I ran as a conservative Republican. I'm a conservative Republican today. I supported Donald Trump when I was running for this position. When I got voted in, I, supported Donald Trump. To the day, I support Donald Trump. And in 14 days, if Joe Biden's the president, you know what? I'm going to support him as the president too. Am I happy about it? Probably not. But you know what? That's okay. Because, the day it's going to go on. Everything's going to be okay. And, we need to work to do what's best for our schools and our kids. And, we can all work together, and we need to come together as a country. And that's just all there is to it. But I just really don't understand. And I think that's just really awful, the fact that, our community, that we just can't respect each other's beliefs. I mean, that's really what we need to start doing. We need to start respecting each other. And you know what? If somebody wants to go to a Joe Biden rally, more power to you. Have a great time. And the fact that I went to Donald Trump rally, awesome. Have a good time. And if something happens at the end of a Joe Biden rally, and there's a little bit of violence, truth be told, I'm not going to go blame people and call people terrorists and insurrectionists or whatever the heck they want to call people because something happened, because usually it is the 1%. We've been around enough to know that usually it's the 1% of people, or sometimes things just get a little crazy, So I just hope that our community can get, together, and we can become more respectful of each other. And our, if we have opposing beliefs, that we can just maybe come together and just respect that that's just how it is. This is America. And we just really need to move forward. We need to move forward with all this.
Right.
I'm sorry if I was
Oh, no, that's okay. You're on a roll, and I appreciate that. I just want to let you know that I'm so proud of our school. I have 4 kids that are currently in the school system here in Placentia Yorba Linda School District, and maybe I'll have one more coming. But Hetty didn't laugh because Hetty has a daughter, I'm so proud of our school, and I've not seen them so far get caught up in all this mess, and I'm hoping it stays that way. My son, I'm not going to say which one because I don't want the teacher to get any issue, have any issues because of this. But they were doing a great job of talking about understanding the news and disinformation. And I thought, and I was like leaning in, listening, and the teacher did an amazing job. She shared some news clips from CNN, some news clips from some other things, and really had a great discussion about disinformation in the news. And so I'm encouraged by you and 2 other conservatives that got voted in that you'll keep us on that path where it's about teaching our children about reading, writing, arithmetic, our U.S. history as our real U.S. history, and I'm hoping it's going to stay that way. That's why I encourage you to not be discouraged. And I know you're a fighter, and I again, like I said, Hetty and I will be here at 100% supportive of what it is that you're doing, and what you need from us. You just let us know.
Absolutely, thank you. I'm sorry to go off on a tangent. I just feel really, I feel like really impassioned for everybody. This is America. Yeah. And if you're a Democrat, if you're an independent, if you're a libertarian, whatever you are, I encourage everybody to really, do what you want, do what you want, attend the stuff that you want, go after what you believe in. And I just feel like if we all just respect each other and respect each other's different beliefs, and that's what I teach my kids, try to be respectful of everybody's opinion, everybody's different beliefs, because everybody is going to have different beliefs, and we can accept it. We don't have to agree, but we can be respectful of that. And I guess that's just kind of what's been on my heart lately, for the past, since I ran for school board, because, you do a lot of walking, you do a lot of talking with people. And I think that that's just the thing is, we all have different beliefs. We all have different things, and just the whole respect for it, I don't know. I just, it's just, it's been kind of you know, like today, especially the lies and the slander and the stuff that, you know, that's come out and whatnot. It's just very disappointing. And I just hope that people maybe take a good look inside themselves and, you know, just maybe think about, you know, things in the future and who this affects and maybe the things that it would probably affect them too, in the future. So.
Hedy, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I echo everything that Leandra said about respecting the difference of opinion. But so a conversation I had with my daughter today was we need to respect our liberties, the things that this country is founded on, the right to assemble, the right to free speech. And you may think that it's funny or it's cool that, you know, somebody you don't like gets silenced, but when the tables turn and it's somebody that you support gets silenced, you're going to be very upset. So we have to cherish the freedom itself, and we have to cherish those values that this country's founded on, and teach our children how important those values are, even for opinions you don't agree with. So it's respect for the individual opinions and respect for the rights writ large.
Absolutely. All right, my friend Leandra, we're here for you.
Stay strong.
And I appreciate I appreciate the thousands of comments. They're going to help have this push this video out. That's I'm going to get lots of views. It's amazing. And I didn't realize I was so many names. I have new. Go ahead.
No, go on, Andy.
You love what?
No, I love our city. I love our school district. You know, I've really been excited to serve on the board. You know, to like make the changes that our community wants and to, you know, keep on with the traditions also that we've started. And I just love America. And I just, you know, I really just hope I really hope that we could just come together and, yeah, it's just one of those, it's just been very hard the last couple of days because to be called a terrorist when you have such a love for the country and when you've sworn an oath, you know, I swore an oath like on December 14th or 15th, you know, to uphold the Constitution. And when I was 20 years old as a deputy sheriff, I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution back then too. I've done it twice. And, you know, every time I meant every word that I've said. So, you know, we don't take these things lightly. And I don't take these things lightly. And I will uphold the Constitution until the day that I die.
Absolutely. Me too.
Amen.
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 All right, this is so much fun. I almost hate to stop because the comments are so amazing. I get to add new names to myself. I usually use that underneath. See where it says Andy down here? I used to put deplorable, and then I put racist, fascist. So I got some new names. Bigot is a new one. I've not been called a bigot ever. I don't know. That's a good one. So wherever they pulled that out of, that's pretty awesome. None of those things are true, by the way. But Leandra, we love you. Good luck, and we'll see you soon. I'm sure we'll go out and say hi, have dinner together.
Yeah. Yes.
Sounds good.
All right, my friend.
Thank you
All right, we'll see you later. All right, take care. Hey, thanks everybody for the comments. You guys are amazing.